Guys, this video is all about spin rate and launch angle. It's all about hitting driver, how you can maximise the distance of your driver. It's all chat, there's no demonstration, so if you're bored really quickly, just switch off. Well, absolutely fine. Right, today we're going to talk about driver. We're going to talk about how you can maximise driver distance or get the most out of your driver from understanding launch angle and spin rates. So to start off with, the lower the club head speed you have, the more loft you need to maximise distance. Okay, so slow club head speed, you need more loft. When we get onto launch angle, so the angle the ball launches off the club face, the more that increases, the less spin we need in order to increase distance. The launch angle is controlled by the loft on the club face at the point of impact. This also includes the player's angle of attack. So if we've got lots of loft on there, angle of attack is going to change what's going to happen. So the launch angle, that's controlled by the loft on the club face at the point of impact. That's presented by the player. And the spin is controlled by the combination of what's called spin loft. Now, spin loft is your angle of attack. So the way in which the club's travelling, the club might be travelling down this line. Club's travelling down the way. Yet we've got lots of loft on the club as it travels down. So the green pen is your angle of attack. The other pen there is the loft you present at impact. So dynamic loft. So the angle between the two is what's called spin loft. Now the closer we get these two together, the more distance we're going to create. We've reduced angle of attack, or we've increased angle of attack, putting it up the way. So positive angle of attack, hitting the ball up, reduced the spin, therefore we're going to get the ball to go further. As this launch angle increases, as the launch angle, this one increases, so we're swinging the way up, the spin needs to decrease for maximum distance. This dynamic loft that's on the club, at impact is very different than the static loft. Static loft is at address. This driver has 10.5 degrees of loft. As it sits flat, it's got 10.5 degrees of loft. By impact, the way it's delivered, this now may have 14 degrees, it may have 7 degrees. That's dynamic loft, it's how it's delivered at impact. So this angle of attack, whether it's positive or negative, that'll affect the launch angle of the golf club, but it won't affect the spin. Whereas the dynamic loft will affect both, it will affect launch and spin. At impact, your club bows in this way. So it kicks forward, there's a kick point in the shaft which makes it bow in this way. If you have a late release of the club, so if you come down with driver and you're still holding this position and you release it late, then you need a stiffer shaft. That stiffer shaft from that late release is going to give you a lower launch and less spin. If you release the club early, like so, you'll see no noticeable change in launch or spin. You'll see very little effect altogether. So the earlier you release the club, the trajectory through shaft flexes is really not going to change much at all. The delivery of the club into impact there is not optimum, it's not ideal. In that instance, when you release early, the dynamic loft is not added through the bowing of the club, but it's added through from that late release, but it's added from an early release, it's added through a flipping of the hands. So we let the club head outride the hands. More in that fashion into impact to try and add loft, which takes the shaft, doesn't make it work for you. Another way to reduce the spin, I'll show you this. If you make contact above the equator of the face of the golf club, so if you make contact on the top of the face, it knocks the head backwards, but it has a gear effect. So the head travelling backwards spins the ball down the way, so it takes the spin off as it goes. If you catch it low in the face, the head kicks forward and adds spin, rolls up, adds spin, adds launch, adds height. Possible loss of control. So ideally, in an ideal world, I hit my driver on the level. I'm level to sort of half a degree up. I'm not great with driver, never have been, but I can control it. So the ideal would be if you can catch it slightly on the way up, Hold on. There we go. Angle of attack. So if you can get angle of attack instead of being level going into the golf ball. So this is us swinging the golf club towards the golf ball. If we can get the angle of attack going up the way slightly, so a positive angle of attack. Keeping the spin off the club, so reducing the spin, so getting both these close together. There we go, hitting golf ball like so. That's going to get us the optimum. That combined with slightly higher strike on the face. I mean, I'm talking just above middle. We don't have to be way up here. That's going to be more loft because of the roll on the face. There's more loft there than there is there. That's 10.5 in the middle. This might be 13, that might be 7. So we're looking just above the equator. We can catch the golf ball in there. If you cut it near the toe, you're going to get draw because of the gear effect. So that angle of attack positive, keeping the spin off, so angle of attack positive, keeping the spin off, keeping loft off as we do that, with a late release, not early release, late release. That is how you can maximise driver distance. It's not easy, but there's lots of checkpoints there. They all flashed on the screen as we went through the video. And if you can take one of these things, if you can increase launch angle, reduce spin, release it later, hit it slightly higher in the face, all these things are going to help you. So if you can take one little nugget from all these lists of things that I've talked about today, it's going to help your driving. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I bring content every week. Subscription's free, as you know. Click the thumbs up button, that shares it around YouTube. That really does help me. And also the little bell notification, if you strike that button, you'll get an instant notification of every one of my videos. Thank you.